You don't win 4 Oscars for nothing.
And I'm going to be right behind you, holding on tight. And away we're going to go, go, go.
Welcome to MsMojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Katharine Hepburn performances.
I don't know, I feel restless and anxious to be doing something. I'd like to hop a little way and try my wings.
One of the most legendary actors in Hollywood history, Katharine Hepburn was named the greatest female screen legend by the American Film Institute. And with more Oscars under her belt than any other actor, Hepburn is without a doubt one of the greatest entertainers on the silver screen.
Well, you really like me.
Well, how could I help it? You were superb.
Joseph, he never forgets anything, does he?
For this list, we're looking at Katharine Hepburn's greatest roles from an impressive career spanning over 60 years.
How long can you keep it up?
Number 10, Linda Seton, Holiday.
You want to know something? That was the first holiday I ever had.
No.
Sure.
This lighthearted comedy finds Cary Grant engaged to the girl of his dreams.
I'm sure I couldn't stand a long engagement. The boy has loads of charm, Father.
But instead of settling down and getting a job, he wants to go on vacation for a few years.
In vacations, I worked in a steel mill and an automobile factory.
His rich fiancée is appalled, but her eccentric sister thinks it's grand and falls in love with her would-be brother-in-law.
I love the boy, Nettie.
Having understudied the part on Broadway, Hepburn plays this black sheep socialite with joyous whimsy. And even though Grant starts off with the spotlight, Hepburn steals the show with her high-spirited performance.
I feel alive and I love it. I feel at last something's happening to me. But it can't get anywhere, so it's like living on that stuff. I've got to get over it.
Number 9, Tess Harding, Woman of the Year.
Do I look like the outstanding husband of the outstanding woman of the year?
You're fine.
In this 1940s dramedy, Hepburn plays a world-famous journalist who falls in love with a hard-headed sports reporter.
Isn't the sports department downstairs?
Yes, I guess it is, but
Then aren't you going in the wrong direction?
Trouble arises when her devotion to the job conflicts with her not-so-happy home life.
I do my work in there. Perhaps if you don't get me with my husband. If he doesn't get home in time.
While the ending seems dated today, Hepburn's strong performance was a Hollywood milestone for equal rights.
The outstanding woman of the year isn't a woman at all.
I'm sorry.
Woman of the Year was also the first of 9 films Hepburn made with Spencer Tracy. Not only did they become one of cinema's iconic couples, they were also real-life lovers whose romance shows up on screen.
Thought you might want to kiss me goodbye.
Number 8, Amanda Bonner, Adam's Rib.
Hello, Adam.
Hello, dear.
Adam, go ahead. Mix the drink.
Mix the drinks.
A hilarious battle of the sexes, this courtroom comedy stars Hepburn as Amanda Pinky Bonner, a lawyer defending a woman on trial for shooting her 2-timing husband.
Wait a second.
What is it?
Woman shot her husband.
Of course, Amanda has one problem. She's married to the prosecutor.
The one case I don't want is the case I get.
To prepare for her role as the ardent attorney, Hepburn watched real-life LA lawyers in action, which no doubt inspired her passionate closing argument.
I ask you for a verdict of not guilty. There was no murder attempt here.
Considered one of the best Hepburn-Tracy flicks, this legal laugh fest owes its big chuckles and progressive message to its feminist leading lady.
What do you think of a man who's unfaithful to his wife?
Oh, not nice, but
All right, now what about a woman who's unfaithful to her husband?
something terrible.
Aha!
Number 7, Josephine Jo March, Little Women.
Christopher Columbus! What's this?
Louisa May Alcott's beloved tale of 19th century sisters was just begging to be turned into a film. And the character of Jo March was tailor-made for Katharine Hepburn.
Joe, you look splendid.
Well, I feel perfectly miserable with 19 hairpins all sticking straight into my head. But dear me, let us be elegant or die.
Practically glowing with life, Hepburn steals every scene she's in as the spirited writer struggling to keep her family together.
I couldn't include you have guests.
Oh, no, only my family. My sister's just come home. She's married, you know, to that boy I told you about.
In Hepburn's capable hands, Jo effectively evolves from a lively, hot-tempered girl to a mature adult and successful author.
Oh, wait until I become a famous author and make my fortune.
In other words, it's a performance that'll have you shouting, Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus! Jo, don't use such dreadful expressions.
Number 6. Eleanor of Aquitaine, The Lion in Winter.
How will you force me to? Threats? Sign or I refuse to feed you?
Sex, death threats, psychological manipulation. This is Katharine Hepburn like you've never seen her before.
Such, my angels, is the role of sex in history.
In this Oscar-winning period piece, Hepburn plays Eleanor of Aquitaine, an aging queen at odds with her estranged husband.
I've put more horns on you than Louis ever wore.
Am I supposed to care?
I'll kill you if you leave me.
When Henry II has to choose which of his 3 sons will inherit the crown, Hepburn turns into a medieval Machiavelli, scheming to put her son Richard on the throne no matter what it takes.
My Richard is the next king, not your John.
Chillingly cool and wickedly shrewd, this electric performance won Hepburn her 3rd Oscar for Best Actress.
Land is dead. I could take defeats like yours and laugh. I've done it.
Number 5. Ethel Thayer, On Golden Pond.
On Golden Pond,
On Golden Pond. How?
By 1981, Hepburn was in her 70s and suffering from essential tremor. But that didn't stop her from doing great work, or her own stunts for that matter. In this touching drama, Hepburn plays an elderly but exuberant woman whose love for her cantankerous husband has only grown stronger over the years.
Oh, I love you so much.
Oh, sorry about your mother's china.
Why did you strain yourself? You know better.
With decades of experience, Hepburn knows exactly when to turn on her vivacious personality and when to tone it down to a mere whisper. And this performance snagged Hepburn her 4th and final Oscar.
We're at the far edge of middle age, that's all.
We're not, you know. We're not middle-aged. You're old and I'm ancient.
Oh, pooh.
Number 4. Christina Drayton, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Who?
Champion of liberal causes on screen and off, it's no surprise Hepburn starred in Stanley Kramer's interracial romance.
We told her it was wrong to believe that the white people were somehow essentially superior to the black people. Or the brown or the red or the yellow ones, for that matter.
When her love-struck daughter brings home an African-American fiancé, Hepburn and her husband are confronted with their own hidden prejudices, especially when the doctor explains he won't marry their daughter if they don't consent.
We're in terrible trouble. John told us, Matt and me, that he wouldn't marry Joey unless we could say that we approved the marriage with no reservations whatever.
Hepburn gives a touching performance as a mother who overcomes her shock to support her daughter's decision, earning Hepburn an Oscar and marking her last film with Spencer Tracy before his death in 1967.
Now I know how they feel about each other. Joey's still very young, Mrs. Prentice, but she's not a child. And they're deeply in love with each other.
Number 3. Rose Sayer, The African Queen.
Well, we've got the African Queen.
Want to sink an enemy gunboat? Better call Katharine Hepburn.
We came here to sink this ship.
In this adventure classic, Hepburn plays a prim and proper missionary who delivers Old Testament vengeance after German soldiers attack her mission.
The Germans.
Teaming up with a scraggly, drunken Humphrey Bogart, Hepburn transforms from a snobby prude into a female Rambo who isn't afraid to get her hands dirty.
How long will it take to get the torpedoes ready?
The real-life Hepburn went through quite a wild experience, too.
I never dreamed that any mere physical experience could be so stimulating.
Filming on location, she suffered from dysentery, threw up between takes, and was attacked by soldier ants.
I've only known such excitement a few times before. A few times in my dear brother's sermons when the Spirit was really upon him.
Number 2, Susan Vance, Bringing Up Baby.
Now, please hurry, David. If Baby wakes up, we'll be in real trouble.
In real life, Katharine Hepburn was the picture of New England class.
You shouldn't do that, you know.
But what shouldn't I do?
Talk while someone's shooting.
Yes, but
Well,
that was
anyway,
my
I forgive
boys.
you because I got a good shot.
But in Bringing Up Baby, she threw her poise and grace straight out the window.
You've given away Baby?
Yeah.
You had no right to do that. He doesn't belong to you. Oh, it's all your fault. You blew it.
As nutty heiress Susan Vance, Hepburn's character is a tour de force of screwball brilliance.
Go on, baby, down the stairs.
After falling in love with a bumbling paleontologist, Hepburn drags the scientist on a madcap chase that involves a yappy dog, a brontosaurus bone, and a music-loving leopard.
Now watch, David. You'll see he'll go right toward the music.
While the film tanked at the box office, Hepburn's wild energy and comic timing were pure gold.
Well, all right, I know enough to go when I'm not wanted, and don't you worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I read about a rainmaker. I think it was Idaho.
I'm Jane Hudson. Oh, excuse me.
I'm not afraid of being just a mourning, Laura. I'm not afraid.
I'm not responsible for what happened on this stage tonight.
You'll have to drive me away yourself.
No one else could.
No one.
Well, I won't.
Number 1. Tracy Lord, The Philadelphia Story.
We just picked the wrong first husbands, that's all.
Despite stellar performances in films like Bringing Up Baby, Hepburn's career wasn't all that hot in the 1930s.
Oh, I give up.
Dubbed box office poisoned by the media, her movies bombed big time, until The Philadelphia Story.
You can go right back where you came from.
Reprising her Broadway role as Tracy Lord, Hepburn wowed critics and audiences alike as the uptight heiress caught in a comical love rectangle.
Dexter, would you mind doing something for me?
Anything, what?
Get the heck out of here.
Snobby but sophisticated, Hepburn brilliantly changes from a self-righteous socialite into a tender human being, earning her an Oscar nomination and the #1 spot on our list.
You didn't do it just to soften the blow.
No, Tracy.
No, to save my face.
Oh, it's a nice little
Oh,
face.
Dex, I'll be yarn now. I'll promise to be
Be
yarn.
whatever you like. You're my redhead. Are you all set?
All set.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite Katharine Hepburn performance?
You know, I hope we never die.
So do I.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to MsMojo.
Do you think there's any chance of it?